Good morning, one and all. I am Dr. Loveshwara Bhurti, Professor, Tripoli Department, KL University. As a part of Design Thinking Innovation subject, today I am going to explain about uh, empathetical research. After end of the session, you know about empathy, interviewing, and focus groups. So this is a reminder. Uh, the main three goals of empathetic research is learn what the customer thinks, learn what the customer feels, and learn what the customer does. So, empathetical research is the first stage of the design thinking process, involves developing a sense of empathy towards the people you are designing for to gain insights into what they need, what they want, how they behave, feel, and think, and why they demonstrate such behaviors, feelings, and thoughts when interacting with the products in a real world setting. Empathize means observing to build context. Yeah, design thinking process, it is a nonlinear process. It have 5 stages. First stage is empathize, second stage is define, third stage is ideate, and fourth stage is prototype. Finally we are testing. So in empathize means it is an empathetic research. In user point of view, you feel the real problems, human-centered problems, and uh, based on the observations and interactions, we get some insights. Based on the insights, in second stage, we define the problem. We define the problem. In this stage, generally, uh, finally, what type of problem it is, cleanly you finalize. Based on that, we ideate the solution in the third stage. In this stage, we are thinking so many ideas and ideas. Finally, we get into better ideas. From that ideas, uh, we prepare so a particular plan of action to build a prototype. So after ideate the problem and solution, and we ready to go to a prototype model in the fourth stage. That prototype model is tested in the final stage, but it is a recurring sometimes, maybe once it is tested, even though at the time we are getting some new ideas without testing, and based on that we come to the different recurring backsides. Okay, now, so first I am discussing about what is empathy. Design thinking cannot begin without a deeper understanding of the people you are designing for. In order to gain those insights, it is important for you as a design thinker to empathize with the people you are designing for so that you can understand their needs, thoughts, emotions, and motivations. So it is a process to understand their needs, thoughts, emotions, and motivations. So in design thinking, empathy is a human-centered design toolkit. Empathy is a human-centered toolkit. A deep understanding of the problems and realities of the people you are designing for. It involves learning about the difficulties people face, as well as uncovering their learned needs and desires in order to explain their behaviors. Yeah, once again, I clarify that word for better understanding. Empathy is not feeling sorry for someone. Empathy is not a sense that you have had a similar feelings. Empathy is not being compassionate. Empathy is not simple sensitivity, but empathy is so. Uh, for what the empathy? Just you try to understand. Namesake, just have to show here one of the video for try to understand the empathy meaning. It is a 2 minutes video. Just observe and give identify the proper meaning of empathy. Yeah, one thing. Just I'm sharing one video here.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं आज आपसे गुजारिश कर
Yeah. I think in the videos we try to understand the meaning of empathy. Okay, coming to the topic. Here I am showing one of the photo. So what observation would work for our project here? Whom would we observe here? Yes, students and teachers. Maybe it is a from the observation. Maybe it is a tuition center, or it is a government school. So where would we observe them while taking class? When would we observe them? So madam dictating something, teacher dictating something, students try to writing the notes, maybe. How would we observe them? Maybe they are not comfortable because there is no fats. and also sitting in the floor. It is not a bench. So definitely they are not comfortable. So what would we look for? A proper solution is needed. So like that, from observations, you finding some insights. Naturally, generally, we are not finding anything, but clearly observed. So many things are come out. Yeah, this is the one of the startup, Deskit Technologies. This startup is started by some IIT students. Actually, they proposed one of the new bag. The bag include with a lightweight pad and chair like this, study table. So this type of bag is very useful, easily carrying from one place to another place. Whether it is suppose the student may be taking to the school, tuition, and at least in the house also. So multi-purpose it is useful, and automatically their problem is solved, and also people, the student feel happy, comfortable. So design thinking is nothing but it is the main purpose is make people happy. So this is the one of the example for empathetic research. And second one, it is also samely like that, but so it is a team of postgraduate students at Stanford were tasked with developing a new type of incubator for developing countries like our countries. However, guys, in the developing countries, there is no proper roads, sometimes very remote locations people are living. So their direct contact with mothers in remote village settings who are unable to reach hospitals helped them to reframe their challenge to a warming device rather than a new kind of incubator. So it is a umbrage warmer. This is the success with empathy. About two examples says that once first one is cleanly observe the things, we identify the some insights, maybe identify the really identified, observed, we are getting the real problems. And also the second one, here the students interact the people and how they suffered, they observed the things, how they feel, how they are struggling for the particular problem, lack of hospitals nearer. So this is very useful to the developing countries people's incubator. So empathize. So it is for how to develop a deeper understanding of our users. First, consolidate what you do and don't know. Connect with your user audience. Carefully consider research approaches. Learn by observing and asking. Develop a shared understanding and empathy. Yeah. Generally, in empathize, three steps to have deep understanding of the problems and realities of the people. Step one, this is observe. Any product or any problem, just you have to observe the things in the surroundings. Human-centered problems are easily identified by observations. How users interact with their environment, capture codes, behaviors, and other nodes that reflect their experience. As usually, we are not noted the things, but observed sometimes. But in the research, we have everything is all the important codes and behaviors, and we have to recollect that and notice what they think, feel, need. In that observation, we notice what they think, feel, and name. Once you observe some more, we want getting them much more much more knowledge or much more uh, observations, or maybe we are getting the real problem. The second step is engage with the users by interviews or learn how to ask the right questions. Maybe we are engaged with the users and we are engaged with the users, we ask the right questions and interview schedule, and maybe we, how to engage the peoples, either interview schedule or learn how to ask the right questions. Yes, step 3 is immerse. Find ways to get into the user's shoes. Best way to understand the user's needs. So in the final step number 2 is nothing but different ways. Maybe you're asking, maybe sometimes meetings, mingle with them and finding some problems, and they're asking and collecting the data like that. This is only possible when they're immersed with the people. Yeah, these are some of the methods uh, to for the empathetic research. These are some of the methods for empathetic research. Either assume a beginner's mindset based from very beginners, like how they feel like that they are discuss some of the problems, they are finding the real problems like that only. Second, maybe interactive sessions. Maybe we are finding the another method is ask what, how, why, and another method is, it is one of the technique actually, ask the 5 whys, 5 why technique, and conduct the interviews with empathy, build empathy with the analogies, use photo and video user based studies, like previously I'm showing one of the photo based on that, use the personal photo and video journals, maybe articles, engage with the extreme users, story share and capture, create journey maps. These are some of the empathize methods, but I am not discussing all these things. Maybe 2 or 3 we discussed a little bit. Yeah, first I am talking about empathize by ask what, how, why. This is the one of the method. You take one paper or board and prepare the entire the paper is divided into 3 parts like that. The figure. Uh, First of all, what you should do for a specific observation. Generally, this type of method is useful for the good for analyzing the through photos, any photo from that one. What you should do for a specific observation, and what is nothing but write what you observe the users doing without making assumptions, and how is nothing but understand what the user is doing. Finally, why? Now you have to interpret, guess motivations and emotions, make assumptions that you have to test with users later. This is another technique, 5 why technique. Generally, this type of method is used for to finding the root cause. Interactive sessions, interrogation. Sometimes in the cinemas we are seeing the movie. So integrate maybe from CBI, they are finding the solutions. They are asking their itself why like that. So root cause, we know the very famous childhood story, that is a uh, 7 fishes story. We know that in that we know that the story, long ago there was a king, the king having 7 princes, but all the princes one fine day, they went to the forest and they are fishing and getting the fishes, and they dry the fishes at the nearer the house. But next day we observed among the 7 fishes, one of the fish not dried. So what is the reason? The prince maybe they're trying to know the cause, but at that time they're asking, fish, fish, why are you not dry? Then the fish answered that this haystack uh, block the sun. Then immediately the prince went to the haystack and asked that why haystack block the sun. Immediately the stack is given the answer because uh, cow is not eat. So immediately he went to the cow, asked the cow, oh cow, why are you not eat? Why don't you eat this haystack? Then the cow replied, because my master is uh, not open my bondage. Then he went to the master, master, why don't you remove the bondages of the cow? Then the master told, today my grandma not giving any food for me. That's why I'm not open the bondage of the cow. Then the prince went to the grandma, why are not giving? Why don't you give the food to your master? Then she replied, because my child is crying, cried at the time. So the prince went to the child and asked that, oh child, why are you crying? Then the child given the answer, replied like that. The ant was beat me. So finally the prince went to the ant and asked, ant, oh ant, why are you beat my child? At that time a beautiful answer is given. Because of anyone put in the uh, anyone put in the my house finger, I didn't make beat. So root cause definitely actually it is started with the fish and when to finally the reason is going to the problem is identified like that. This type of questions definitely very useful to find out the root causes and from that one in the research definitely given the proper solution at that area maybe the better solutions are getting. So this is the one of the best method. And uh, next one, conduct interviews with empathy. Maybe these are the some of the guidelines before conducting the interviews. Ask why, but here in that interviewing never say usually when asking a question. Maybe sometimes it is very difficult to getting the real problems. That's why some case studies we are asking like that. Tell me, anyone you want to tell the stories like that. So regarding maybe in surrounding drainage problem is there, but at what time it is getting suddenly the rain is falling at the time the water enter the stuck here, but nobody getting the problem. This is the why water is not not it is stuck like that. So we are encouraging like the stories. Real problems are came out. So that's why encourage the stories and look for inconsistencies and pay attention to non-verbal cues and sometimes maybe silence. Don't be afraid of silence. Okay, now ask questions neutrally and don't suggest answers. We are not giving any answers. This is the some of the suggestions for asking the questions for interview of the empathy. So here empathy interview or skilled interview, just maybe for asking some procedural steps. Technically, where some preparation is required. Empathy interviews are the cornerstone of design thinking. So because it is a very essential to know. Once ask the question, then only problems or maybe uh, a real problem is identified. So that's why it is very important. By entering and understanding another person's thoughts, feelings, and motivations, first we can understand the choice that persons makes. We can understand their behavioral traits, and we are able to identify their needs. Okay, this helps us to innovate and create products or service for that persons. So it is our actual motto, our actual vision. People make better live for happiness, coming to give the better solutions. The sample of empathetic interview. It is related to our surrounding problem. Assume you are running a restaurant KL Road. We are running a restaurant in KL Road. We used to open a restaurant in KL Road. Anyone. So you have to start some business. But before going to the business, just whether it is feasible or how much people are really thinking whether really how many of you bringing to come to the actual food, everything known by the just you have to um, ask the questions or interact with the surrounding people. So questions you ask you current customers like maybe already another restaurant is there, but how they feel, how they are really happy, or others good taking the feedback, or they're expecting, and everything come from the interaction only. So here some of the example: where do you have your food during college days? What do you prefer to have for breakfast or lunch and dinner? Why do you prefer to have that? What snacks you like more? How do you feel the foods on nearby shop? What is your expected menu for a day? So based on we are asking some or more. Based on that, we are giving the some conclusions. Yeah. So these are the some, but interview questions. You want to collecting the more data from the users are real problems. Proper preparation, preparative questions. We are preparing the questions, interview questions. It is maybe useful. So might be what does the users think or feel for a particular product? What is really important to the users? Is it fulfilled or not? Everything it is come to the this type of question. What drives the user? What worries the user? What users assumptions? Maybe like that. What does user hear from others? What do friends and family say? Who influence the users and how? What communication channels are influenced? Maybe. What users see? What does look maybe looking, and what surrounds the users? Who surrounds the users? Like that. So many questions here. We have to create some generative questions. Some of the from the questions maybe are getting pains. Maybe some of the questions we are getting the gain. So what barrier and challenges does the user face, and what are related pain related questions? What are the users frustrations? What obstacles are there? What makes user feel indifferent? Like that gain also, what makes user happy or satisfied? Positive feedback. What does the users truly want? Everything we are taking from this type of questions. And this is the one of the method is the empathize tool, empathy map. So from the observations, just say, think, do, feel. What are some codes and defining words your user said? Just you have to note it here. And what might your users be thinking? What does this tell you about his or her beliefs? And what actions and behaviors did you notice? And maybe in the feel like that. what emotions might your subjects we feel like that. We are what they thinking, what they saying, what they feeling, or the how to do, how they behavior, everything is noted here. From that one, we are identifying the some of the human-centered problems. And now this is the time to breakout activity. So just in a namesake, maybe in the 20 minutes, you prepare an empty map, create an empty map before an important decision, or maybe startup, or maybe you do some project, a work, maybe directly after an observation sessions. Okay. So I'm giving some of the maybe any one. You take it your own problem also. So first of all, you want to write the things in the paper like the uh, design map, this type of map, empathy map. Write before you talk. Before so write before you talk. Write or sketch lots of your ideas on sticky notes before talking about them. During discussions, capture the main points on sticky notes. Yes, there are no bad ideas. So start big, diverse to get everyone's ideas there. Come back together to discuss, cluster, and seek patterns. Then converge to determine the strongest ideas. So stay focused on your users. Tell stories about users to keep them at the center of your attention. So try to everyone participates. This is a activity everyone participates. Everyone has a maker and a paid to sticky notes. Stay engaged, start on time, stay on time, and instead of dismissing the ideas that your uh, teammates suggest, push yourself to build on them. As a maybe as a team leader, we need to do the things. Okay, maybe we are maybe we are prepared like two groups, and from two groups, one group should ask the questions and another group should give answers on the following giving topics. Make a note the questions and answers and should present after the breakout activity. Yes. So some of the activities names I am giving here, it is related to how to construct a house, or about their children education and their career, about taking a luxurious car, maybe career, maybe what type of school you have to join the students, how to collect the data, which is best in everything by using the empathy map. And money savings. This is what are the possibilities, advantage, how they feel, how to struggles like that. So maybe holiday trip, you are planning another trip. So any one activity you take and prepare on empathy map. Next, coming to the, this is another approach to observe the things and finding the problem. So generally this is called as a focus group. Uh, Focus group is nothing but actually your selected problem is related to not entire all human beings. A particular product is producted for or other particular product is suitable for particular group of people, like we are preparing compass box is related to the school students. Maybe we are preparing one of the uh, maybe drone. So drone applications are used so many areas, but that the same how to use to the agriculture, the same drone is how to use to the photography, like that. So we are talking about which group, maybe agriculture problem or fine arts problem, like that. Maybe bike is related to the boys focus group, or school is related to the girls focus group, like that. And in that one also age group, different ages, like that. Actually we are separating. A focus group can be extremely helpful to get into the mindset of your customers and receive genuine helpful feedback for your company. the companies are also actually the particular group of people they are taking for interviewing and recruiting the involving the these users also. So a focus group is a carefully planned discussion that designed to obtain perceptions and opinions on a defined topic of interest in a non-threatening environment. Another definition, a focus group should be a discussions that is comfortable and enjoyable for participant as they share their thoughts and ideas. Another one, maybe this type of focus group, particular situation to situation, they are defined like a focus group is different from a key informant interview, which is a one-on-one discussion. Now, both can be rich sources of qualitative data when collecting community level info. Now, so we are solving the problem for a particular community. First of all, they are interact with them, but how to getting the people to attend your focus group interviews? This is also very important. So such a some of the ideas are there, getting people to attend your focus group interviews. So many methods are there. Then establish meeting times that don't conflict with the existing community activities or functions. Maybe very below poverty people, such type of meetings are generally conducted in the evening time. Why? Because once they come to the system, person to person type of the focus group, we have to plan to attend the and this type of planning to attend the interviews. So generally, we are using 6 key features: involve people and conduct with a series of groups, possess certain characteristics, provide data, and data are qualitative in nature, and discussion is focus. Discussion is focus. These are the key features we are generally followed. Yeah. First of all, involves people. Companies typically composed of 8 to 10 people, but can range from a few 4 to as many as 12. Recommended you have at least 18 people. So this group size is conditional on 2 factors. Suppose you want to large enough to provide diversity of perceptions, small enough for everyone to have opportunity to share insights. But what type of interviews maybe we are thinking, based on that we take it. Second one is conducted with a series of groups. How we prepare collect gathering the people's first, we prepare one of the brochure like the rural housing, it is a scheme. So it is maybe providing for the government, one scheme is provided, but we want to interact with the people. First of all, fix the date and the time and where and purpose, who is invited, everything we have to like that, and given that, and bring that persons, and finally interview and certain characteristics. Sometimes in the involving people, better to take generally you compose people who are similar to each other, but in the focus groups have traditional involved people who do not know each other, but at times this is difficult. Try to avoid involving people who know each other well. Yeah. Data collection procedure. This is the way focus groups pay attention to the perceptions of people regarding community matters. They are not intended to develop a conscious arrive at an agreeable plan. Make decisions about which course of action should be undertaken. Maybe a focus group was key informant interviews. In focus groups, participants generate their own responses, but also respond to other comments. Okay, this is the right. And make use of qualitative data. Focus group produce qualitative data that offer insights into their attitude, perceptions and opinions of participants. These are the, so this is the qualitative data. So and finally, discussion is always is focused. But how to bring that very focus? We prepare our questions. The questions are presented in a manner that is understandable to the participants. Then it is focused. The moderator uses predetermined open-ended questions. So when the discussion is focused, you want to discussion is focused, you prepare like that. The moderator uses predetermined open-ended questions. These questions are called the questioning group, are arranged in a natural logical sequence. Yeah. So my dear students, today we are going to another activity. For this activity, you will be conducting a focus group. You will find listed below. Yes, a focus group. You are giving a guide also. Focus group, how to discuss among you and review or otherwise interviewing everything. So here you need at least 2 persons. You need to select one person to be the moderator to run their group, and another one is to record the key points of the focus group discussions. Yeah, maybe it is. So this is the focus group discussion guide. Based on that, we have to do your activity. And finally, among the group, these are the questions for discussions. And how smoothly did your focus group run? Were there any problems with running the group? What were the key findings of the focus group? How valuable would this information be for fast food companies? So what do you see and limitations of this type of qualitative market research? Finally, how would you improve upon the above group discussions guide? So these are the student discussion questions. So finally, I conclude the today's session. Before conclude the session, just I have to a little bit difference. Want to give the focus group interview and skill interview. As in the figure shows, the first figure having at least 6 members. That means the group of people are discussed. That is called as a focus group. Skill interview generally having a one-to-one discussion. Yeah. So these are the differences of the focus group and skill interview. Generally, focus group is used for use the power of interaction. Power of interaction. Here the and explanation something and the panelists interact with each other and often leads to unexpected insight. In the focus group, often leads to unexpected insights. Um, but in the skilled interview, so in the focus group, power of interaction, but in the skill interview, one-to-one interaction. Panelists interact each other in the focus group, but in the skill interview, the subject interacts only with the interviewer. Maybe in the focus group leads to unexpected insights, but in skill interview, useful to more refine the insights. So focus group, maybe we are using more activities and surveys, etc. But skill interview, just here open and direct questions. So please, anyone, please give an answer. Based on last week, we select your semester project, but what is the focus group for this semester project? I'm asking this. Finally, yeah, empathy interviews are used to gather insights. These insights can then be used to identify issues and generate potential solutions. These insights can then be used to identify issues and generate potential solutions. Insights form the cornerstones of the design and innovation process. Insights forms the cornerstone of the design and innovation process. It's like a lighthouse for what you should do next and a catalyst for creating new value for your customers. The ever-increasing explosion of data puts more knowledge at our fingertips. than ever before. But you need to know what to do with it. Thank you.